I was called in for a mental status exam. I pondered, is it because I have aphasia? Truth be told, I acquired aphasia as a result of an accident. As I entered the doctor's office, I saw many patients, old, young, different types of patients, and I actually felt overwhelmed with anxiety, not knowing what to expect. As a person with aphasia, it means I have trouble understanding you, reading, writing, and speaking. After checking in at the front desk, I was guided into a room by a man who I thought was the doctor. I felt anxious as I followed him into his room. He was pleasant as he introduced himself and told me he was going to do a mental assessment on me. Then I realized that he was a psychologist. Upon realizing he was a psychologist, I immediately got nervous, triggering a whirlwind of emotions. Having combined receptive and expressive, aphasia is quite hard on me. I'm unable to express myself appropriately, and I'm unable to pronounce words properly. But this time I was able to ask the psychologist point blank, "Are you assessing me?" I meant to say assessing, but it came out wrong. That's an example of what I was trying to say. But anyway, I asked him if his goal was to determine if I was going into a nursing home. And he said no, it was not up to him, and that he was just there to do an assessment. So let's call the psychologist Dr. John Bull. Dr. John Bull gave me an overview of what the test will entail. I responded to him that I have done many of these tests before, so I already know the answers, because when I get the answers wrong, they tell me the correct answer. He said, "We'll see." Well, some of the questions he asked me were date, time, place. He also asked me, what floor are we at now? He asked about the season. Then he asked about the country I was in, the state, the county, the city, and the state capital. He brought up this phrase, or an idiom. He said, "What does this mean? Don't cry over spilt milk. Don't cry over spilt milk." I thought that was quite a weird question to ask me. Then he asked me to pronounce words and sentences and stuff, and I was unable to pronounce it properly. He did some other tests like recall, to recall some things. And I actually got mad at one point because he never gave me notice. And I told him, usually they would tell me, the therapist will usually tell me, remember what we had talked about, because I would like for you to repeat it again when I ask you. So, Dr. Bull, why didn't you do that? He said, because I don't want to. He did a battery of other tests, and at the end of the session, I felt defeated.